Hello and welcome to Blue Justin. Still Justin, still not blue. And today I'm getting around to doing the letter B Blu-rays in my collection after having to be away for a little while. Um, of course, I'm going to totally mess that up to start with and do a couple of letter A's that I was unable to do last time. Okay, here we go. A couple of quick ones to start with. Aladdin. As I'm pretty sure most people know, this one is only just been released. I'm not going to do this every time, otherwise I'll just end up going back and doing hundreds of stuff, hundreds of titles that have just arrived in my previous collections. By the time I reach Z, I'll be going back and doing most of the alphabet all over again. And anyway, this one did arrive quite recently, released quite recently, and if you want to see more detail on this one, please go and look at my unboxing of it. Details below. It's an actually beautiful steelbook, and for the first time in an age, I've actually found one with some embossing on it, and they put some effort into the discs as well. So, Avengers Endgame. Again, I unboxed this one. This was just after my A video came out. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too late to arrive in time for that one. But again, I have done an unboxing for it. And again, details below. Please go and watch the video if you'd like to see a bit more detail on that. At the moment, obviously, there's a bit of reflection because I've put it in a protective plastic case to make sure the steelbook doesn't get scratched. I did say actually in the A video there seems to be loads and loads of manga and anime, so rather, beginning with A. This one is Assassination Classroom. Familiar story of alien turns up, destroys half the moon, comes down to Earth, says, I'm going to destroy the whole of the planet in a year's time, but in the meantime, I'm going to start teaching your children in a classroom. And the Earth's authorities set the children that he's teaching the task of making sure they kill him by the time that he intends to destroy the Earth. Apparently, it's absolutely brilliant, and it's got a very good concept of the humour of the whole situation, as well as some good action. Again, like I said at the time, I'm really looking forward to watching a little bit more anime stuff, and this has been severely recommended to me. This is season. Is it season one or just season two? This is just season one, but this is the American import. It was released in the UK, but in two separate halves of the season, both of which cost more than the whole season from the American import. Ridiculous for the American. Not sure whether you can do that if you haven't got a region free player. You please check. I haven't got time to have a look at the moment. Well, anime. Why am I showing you the back? Because I'm an idiot. Attack on Titan. Titans defeated millennia ago after all the humans built a big walled city to keep them out. Super Titan turns up, breaks through the wall. More Titans follow. Titans like eating people just for fun. Apparently there's lots and lots of action, and this has been severely, again, this is another one that's been recommended to me from various YouTube sources of people who like their anime. Right, let's get on to the actual B's of my collection, being the whole point of why I'm here. Babadook. Not I haven't watched it, but it seems to have a massively good reputation. I'm not really a big fan of horror, but this one seems to be a little bit more cerebral, maybe, than the ones that I don't like. And I was considering at one time doing an open university type film course to see what I could actually learn more about films and critique, etc., which you'll probably appreciate when I start to critique them, if I'd actually been able to do it. But of course, the OU decided to close down the course before I had a chance. However, the course and many other courses, film courses around the country, have this as not just recommended but required watching. So I'm figuring that it must be pretty well regarded, and there must be something to say about it that puts it there. Baby Driver. Absolutely found I love this film. Obviously, for some people, Kevin Spacey being in it is a bit of a problem. It's not for me. I can separate out actors from their roles, what they do in their private lives, from whether or not they can act. I really, really enjoyed it. The soundtrack was obviously just my, well, not obviously, I don't know to you how old I look, but it was just my sort of era, and the way they combined it with the action was brilliant. If you don't know, it's about an extremely young, uh, talented driver who uh, stole the car from the wrong person once and is paying it off by being a getaway driver for his continuous illegal exploits. And it's a great, great film. Back to the Future trilogy, as you can see by the lovely reflections here. That's a nice shiny slip cover. Um, what needs to be said? Spielberg, Michael J. Fox, DeLorean, Time Machine, fantastic. Love them all. However, unlike many, I'm a big fan of number two rather than number three. I think it's just so incredibly well put together, and the uh, logic worked out so well and actually explained on the whiteboard that it just adds, for me, I don't know everyone else. Anyway, let's get on. Bad Santa, one I've picked up for the upcoming Christmas. Not seen it yet, so I shall see it at Christmas. Bad Times at the El Royale. Heard mixed things about this one. Jeff Bridges, uh, thriller, sounded to me a bit Tarantino-esque, and I thought I would certainly give it a go. Hey, they released a 4K of Bad Boys. What you going to do? Sorry, I do apologise. Absolutely love this film. Uh, Will Smith in one of my favourite roles of his, as the super rich cop who only is a police officer not because he needs the money, but because he actually wants to be a police officer. And it's super smooth, does everything right, and the action is just superb in this film, in my opinion. And this was is it Tiana Leone? Oh, I'm not sure to read the name properly. Taya Leone. Sorry, it's hard to got accents and everything on it. Um, Absolutely drop dead gorgeous in this movie. Just blew me away. I'll be honest. Bad Boys 2. Wasn't actually quite so much a fan of this one when I saw it, but I was in a bit of a bad place at the time, and I didn't particularly enjoy one of the scenes and some of the political overtones. But I'm going to give it a proper rewatch now with a bit more open mind, knowing what's going to go down, so to speak. And obviously looking forward to number 3 when it comes out next year. Basic Instinct. Do not know what people have against this movie. It's seen as lower budget, whatever. I thought the acting by Michael Douglas and Sharon Stone was very, very good. I thought the script and the plotting was excellent. There was very good psychological elements to it, and just because it's famous for the big one scene of Sharon Stone uncrossing and crossing her legs in the police interrogation scene, I don't think it should be put down for that. I ended up seeing it 3 times at the cinema, not because I'm not that much of a fan, but there were 2 different friends of mine, female friends, that wanted to go and see it, but were a bit worried about the fact that the cinema would be full of dirty old men, and they wanted a friend to go with. So both of them asked me separately, and I ended up going to see it at cinema 3 times on that. Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, one of a DC animated one that is a bit of a spin-off in the sense that it goes back to Victorian times. Not watched it yet, heard very good things. As I think I've said before, really more of a Marvel person than a DC person, but I like the idea of watching some of these DC animations because DC animations have got absolutely rave reviews. Batman Hush. I mean, same as essentially what I said about the last one. Both of them very, very nice steel books too. Absolutely gorgeous cover on this one. I almost bought it just because of that. Or I would have bought it almost just because of that. I actually am also interested in seeing the whole movie. Battle Los Angeles. Not exactly high on everybody's list of greatest films ever made, but it sounds like a bit of a good sci-fi actioneer, and I got it very cheaply. Battle of Britain, the steelbook. I love the cover. It's an absolute classic movie. Michael Caine, Trevor Howard, Laurence Olivier, Christopher Plummer, Michael Redgrave, Robert Shaw. I mean, cast list, top quality there, isn't there? And obviously telling the story of the Battle of Britain. And I think I said before, I do like my war movies, and I enjoy the airplanes as well, in addition to war movies. But if they put them both together, it's obvious win. Great score as well on that one. The only downside is that I recall that I've had to keep the DVD because they didn't port across all the extras or the commentary. I can't remember which it was. Cheat, Battle of the Damned. Hasn't turned up yet, but I thought I'd put it in now rather than trying to add it on to the beginning of the season and getting in trouble for doing that every single time. Just dropped to something ridiculous, like almost Poundland cheap on Amazon. Dolph Lundgren leading ragtag band of people from an infected zombie city to try and escape using robots. Yeah, Dolph Lundgren leading robots against zombies. I mean, how can you possibly say no to that for Poundland price? Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Ray Harryhausen animation classic. This is obviously the, as you can see by the silver band at the top, it's the HMV, is it Classic Collection? Premium Collection, I can remember the name. And really looking forward to rewatching this one at some point. Beastmaster, import from the German import, as you can see, I think from the sticker in the corner. I think that's yes, FSK, yes, German. I'm pretty sure that the reason for that is that we haven't had a Blu-ray release of this in the UK. Oh, surprise, surprise. And I do like my 80s swords and sorcery fantasy type fun movies, whether or not they be the greatest thing to be going up into the Oscars. No, they're obviously not, but I enjoy them, and that's the point. Beauty and the Beast Steelbook. This is the 3D one, live action remake with, why can I never remember names? Emma Watson. I'm going to say, do apologise. I actually haven't opened this one yet, but that steelbook, how beautiful is that? Obviously, you're getting a little bit of reflection because I've made sure I've got a plastic protector on it to make sure it doesn't get scratched. But anyway, let's proceed. Tearfish. Yeah, why is that in the B's? That's because it's the German import of Bedazzled. And yet again, the Germans have got Blu-ray and we haven't. And this is Brendan Fraser. I really enjoy his stuff. And you know, love the mummy movies. And we've also got why didn't they put it on the back so easily for me? Elizabeth Hurley, I mean, gorgeous lady, and I just think the movie works so well. Haven't actually opened this one to actually watch the actual Blu-ray itself yet, but really looking forward to being able to watch that one again. It's showtime. I probably shouldn't do that. Beetlejuice. I believe there's a new steelbook of this one coming out very, very soon, but I don't think I can really justify getting a steelbook when I've already got a very, very nice Blu-ray with a very nice slip. Though you never know with me, justify all sorts of things. Absolutely superb movie. It's Tim Burton's directing, Michael Keaton, and he does just such a brilliant job as Beetlejuice, the ghosts equivalent of the People Exterminator. Well, it's the ghost version of the Exorcist, really, in the sense of he tries to exorcise people out of the house or scare people out of the house, whereas the Exorcist gets the ghosts out of the house. I think it's a lovely twist. It's very, very funny. A great movie. Beowulf. Quite weird. It's like the animation in it is a little bit strange. It's so very heavily based on the people that it represents or who are acting in it, who are, I'm going to have to look again. Ray Winstone, Anthony Hopkins, John Malkovich. I mean, that's quite a good Robin Wright pen. And Angelina Jolie, I believe, plays the dragon. Not entirely sure that's how the dragon was supposed to look in myth, but you know, Angelina Jolie. Lovely. Enjoyed that cinema. The classic myth of Beowulf defeating the dragon. Look it up. Second best, Marigold Hotel. I haven't got, obviously, otherwise I've shown it first, the Best Marigold Hotel on Blu-ray. I have got it on DVD. Really, really enjoyed it. Saw this one in Poundland, so just thought pick it up. And again, got to say, Judi Dench, Maggie Smith, Bill Nighy, cast. John Woo's A Better Tomorrow. This is the 2012 version. Why, oh, why, oh, why will they not release the original Better John Woo original, A Better Tomorrow on Blu-ray? Practically anywhere, as far as I can remember when I was trying to track it down. It's an absolute John Woo masterpiece, and this is as close as I can get. I'm not sure if he actually directed this one anymore. Actually, I think he might have just produced it or approved it. But well, yet to see. And I do like my martial arts actions. Big Ass Spider. Not going to win any Oscars, is it? However, it's very good fun. It really is. And whilst, unlike Kermit's Ghost, I'm not in real life a big fan of spiders at all, terrified of them, I'm totally intrigued by the creatures themselves. I find them incredibly interesting. I just don't particularly want to be having them in my house. But love films about them, and this was a good bit of fun. I really enjoyed it. You know, track it down. It's not going to be expensive. Big Hero 6. Been told great things. Absolutely marvellous, marvellous things. Still not seen it, I'm afraid. Anime, but more up to date Disney anime sort of thing rather than actually traditional Japanese anime, but it's done in that style. And really looking forward to watching this one when I have the time. The Big Lebowski. Again, horrible admission, still haven't got around to watching it, but if you're going to get one version of it, get the good one, I thought to myself. And this is a lovely 4K with a lovely 4K slip. Obviously, you've got done by the Coen brothers and stars Jeff Bridges and John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, and I'm really looking for. I've got friends who say I really should watch this sooner rather than later. As with all these videos, please let me know which of the many films that I've got that I haven't seen yet, which I should watch, and which you think. I'm quite happy to listen to which you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't have bothered buying, and say, oh, don't even go there. Just put it on sale before you even open it. You'll get more money. So yeah, just let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. A bit of feedback. And yes, that one really looking forward to seeing. I've got friends who say this is one of their favourite movies, so we're going to go for that. The Big Sleep. Again, one from the HMV Premium Collection. Which number's this one? Somewhere underneath the title, number 49. I'm sure Kermit's Ghost has got it. I'm very embarrassed to admit that I've never seen it, but it's Bogart and Bacall, and it's going to be great when I finally have the time. I'm actually wondering whether can't remember whether this one's actually on the 100 bucket list movies or not. So I'm going to be reviewing and watching. Big Trouble in Little China. I adore this movie. I just think it is hilarious. John Carpenter, Kurt Russell, as it says on the back, mystical action adventure comedy kung fu monster ghost story. Can you really go that far wrong? Well, not that long, no. And it's also got, oh, what's the name? Oh yeah, Kim Cattrall. Not that I can ever remember whether it should be Kim Cattrall, which I used to pronounce it, but I think if it's heard it should be pronounced Kim Cattrall, with some just absolute classic lines throughout. You know, honestly, just brilliant, brilliant action, brilliant, brilliant comedy. Anybody who hasn't seen it, you've got to. Black Death. Really like Sean Bean. Picked it up cheap. Medieval England, swords, fighting. Yeah, let's go for that. Black Hawk Down. This is the recent 4K release. I think the movie is excellent. Amazed it's based on a true set of events in Somalia, trying to rescue American troops after they get captured after a failed surprise ambush. Well, they went in to do some work and they got ambushed by surprise. That's how ambushes work, you know. God, I don't know. What I particularly like about the fact that this is now available on 4K is that, unlike most 4Ks where they do the extended version and the regular version in the one package, this one's got, and what they do is they put the regular version on the 4K, but they only have the mixed, the regular and extended on the Blu-ray copy because it's cheaper, because that's what they've done before. Because they've never actually done it, I don't, as far as I'm aware, on a Blu-ray release in this country, they actually have used what's called seamless branching to get both versions in 4K on this release. So really looking forward to rewatching that, because I'm not sure I've ever seen the extended version, but brilliant, brilliant movie. Very, very gut-wrenching action, very realistic, brilliant. Black Panther, Marvel Universe, great movie. Yeah, I do actually have a Black Panther t-shirt, but I can't find it. But, and as you'll notice from the Batman t-shirt that I'm wearing at the moment, unlike a lot of people who were not such big fans of this particular style of artwork on the steelbook, I really got it and really do like it. So, and I know even though it stands out quite a lot from the other Marvel Universe steels because it doesn't really follow the pattern. And yes, I do like things to follow the pattern. I'm just the same as a lot of collectors, bit OCD here and there. But anyway, great movie, great addition to the Marvel Universe. Think it might be slight. I don't know why some people dislike it a lot. I don't know. I think the trouble was it got slightly overrated and pushed towards awards, not because of the huge quality above certain other Marvel films, but because of the, not if not revolutionary aspect, but the fact that so many of the actors and so many of the production staff, directing, etc., were by African Americans, and that is a bit of a standout in Hollywood and such a big change up for them. And I think that was why it got all the publicity it did. And not that people are decrying it for that, but because it was bigged up because of that, I think some people saying, well, it shouldn't have been as bigged up maybe as quite it was. Anyway, Black Panther, great film. Black Sea, Jude Law, he's got a submarine in it. It's action. I mean, what's going to go wrong? Rogue submarine captains. You know this is going to be my sort of thing if you've listened to hear any of my videos so far. Brilliant. I haven't seen it yet, of course, but well, what I mean by brilliant is I like the description. Black Shield of Falworth. Bit of an old classic. Tony Curtis rather than Curtis. Janet Leigh, one of Tony's earliest performances. Just reading the back here. Actually went on to actually marry Janet Leigh in real life. Whether or not they met up on this movie, I don't know. Swashbuckling saga, probably around the era or around the idea around the original classic Errol Flynn, Robin Hood swashbuckling saga of that era. So looking forward to digging this one out and watching it when I'm going through that sort of era movies. Black Swan, massively highly regarded. Lovely slip on this one. Watched it, just don't get the love. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to disagree with anybody who thinks it's standout and brilliant, and I am a fan of Natalie Portman, but I'm sorry, I just didn't get why this film was regarded as so brilliant. I can see how it was, you know, a nice descent into madness type idea, but from an overpressured ballerina, and they are put under an extreme amount of pressures. I believe if they're at the top of their game, certainly in the era it's probably set or representing, but not one that I'll probably be rewatching unless it comes up on the 100 bucket list movies, in which case I shall have to give a proper review, won't I? Blackwater. Look, it's got a submarine in it. I own it. It's in my collection. No surprises there then. And it's got Dolph Lundgren. And it's got Jean-Claude Van Damme. I mean, how could I not remember that? This is the first time I believe that they've been on the... They're not the first time they've been in the same movies, certainly. But it's the first time they've been on the same side in an action movie. Repurposed naval submarine, accused person selling secrets, prove his innocence, action, violence, death. Let's go with that. Blade. This is the Xavi Steelbook. I'm really enjoyed this movie. Snipes in one of his best roles, I think. I think all the supporting roles are excellent as well. The follow-ups weren't superb. Well, I really enjoyed 2, but obviously I know that 3 isn't highly regarded, though I still enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah. Blade, brilliant. I enjoyed it. Blade, only not Blade. Blade of the Immortal. We're back to our samurai stuff. We're talking, oh yes, I remember this one, yes, it's highly skilled martial artists, comes cursed with immortality. Normally people don't get cursed with immortality, they got praised with immortality, but after legendary battle, and as he's cursed in the sense that he's haunted by his past, and the only way to atone is to fight evil using his talents. Looking forward to watching this lovely, actually really pretty steelbook. I think it's a Xavi one again. And now, one of the prides of my collection with regards to films that I actually adore. Blade Runner. A adore this film. It is my favourite film of all time. This is the 4K full set with every single version in it, work print, right through from the original release to the final cut. Obviously, final cut is my favourite version, where they've done some very nifty work and removed the voiceover that was never really should have been in the one in the first place, the original release. However, I will confess that learning stuff and remembering it from the voiceover when watching the final cut, in actual fact, enhances the final cut a bit, in the sense that you know that in the noodle bar scene, Deckard is only pretending not to understand the language that Gaff, yes, is speaking. And obviously Harrison Ford, what's his name? It's the captain from Battlestar Galactica and going back to the 80s Miami Vice. What's his name? Edward James Olmos, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Huge fan of that film. And if you don't know it, based on the classic novel by Philip K. Dick, *The Android's Dream of Electric Sheep*. Let's not get into the is Deckard a replicant that he's trying to track down? So who do you believe? And obviously you've also got that amazing scene near the end with Rutger Hauer, all about, it's not just the science fiction classic, it's all about what it means to be human and what it means to have life. It's just so much more than the sum of its parts. That said, apparently before I met her, my wife managed to fall asleep during the first half hour, the two times she tried to watch it. I still married her. I've made her watch it since. Anyway, Blade Runner. Keep them all, but this is the steelbook, using the same artwork as it happens. It's by pure coincidence. It's an import, but I just wanted to keep it because I think it's just a nice looking steel in its lovely reflective protective casing. Blade Runner 2049. This is the HMV steelbook. It's got the 4K, it's got the 3D, and obviously the Blu-ray. I was incredibly upset that I missed out on this when it came up for sale the first time, but there was luckily they got some back in stock, and Big Paulie, who gave me the immediate heads up because he knew I was after one, because I'd tried to actually win his one in a giveaway draw that he was doing, and let me know immediately, and I was in like Flynn, so to speak. I think this is a very, very worthy successor to the original. I know some people are not as much of a fan, but then it's very, very hard to follow up on what I consider, like I just said, my favourite movie. So I was expecting it to be a real letdown, in the sense of I was expecting it to be over actionized for today's modern audiences, to try and get bums on seats, whatever. And that's what a lot of the trailers seem to imply from all the explosions, etc. But that's not how they treated it in the end. They, in my, like I said, they did, I think, a worthy successor. They considered exactly what they wanted to do. There was still lots of cerebral input again, which is probably why it failed at the box office. But despite its incredibly long runtime, that's about 3 hours, I think. I I watched it uh, soon after I got it, and I really, really enjoyed it. Um, if there's anything that I have a problem with, I was just about to say it is practically as good as the original up until about the last half hour, where to me there were certain plot points that just, even nowadays, technically speaking, would not happen in a society like that. You could not get away with being untraceable the way they seem to wrap it up. But again, absolutely fantastic movie and really, really enjoyed it. Blast Fighter, action movie, lots of violence, Italian collection. Um, somebody's home area gets invaded or messed up by rednecks. Guess who I think realizes they made a mistake very, very soon. Apparently, Quentin Tarantino, not Tarantino, Quentin, uh, says it's one of this director's. It is this director's best action movie, or he really likes it. And who am I to disagree? Bleeding Steel, Jackie Chan. Wanted to watch a few Jackie Chan movies. Saw this one on DVD in my local Tesco, uh, but it was only available in this country on DVD, and I went, no, not in that. So of course I went straight out and got the German Steelbook and imported it. Blind Fury, Rutger Hauer, brilliant 80s action movies. Uh, uh, Rutger Hauer, what do you need to say for starters? Uh, Vietnam veteran, sorts out the law in his own vigilante way with samurai sword, katana. Technically speaking, I just want to put that in there in case, whatever. And I believe it's originally based on the Japanese film Zatachi the Blind Swordsman. Well, obviously, by the name of the film, I hope you got the idea. That's the point. Look how this Vietnam vet is tracking down his buddy, and despite the fact he's an incredible fighter with the sword, and you really shouldn't mess with him, he's blind. So, well acted, good fun. It's just great fun, honestly. Blitz. Anyone who seen any of my posts on various forums will know I'm a very big Jason Statham fan. This actually isn't one of his best ones, but it's Jason Statham. It's an action movie. It's rewatchable. It's good fun. Blood Diamond, DiCaprio, action all about the blood diamonds in, I think it's South Africa, isn't it, where they come from? Oh, this one's Sierra Leone. I'll be speaking the same thing. Well, they call them conflict diamonds nowadays, don't they? I think. So, yeah, I hear it's an absolutely excellent, top-notch movie. Again, haven't watched it. Really, really should. Sorry. Mel Gibson, Bloodfather. Woman goes on the run, or that are framed. 17-year-old goes on the run after being framed for stealing drug kingpin's cash, and her mess up of a father happens to be Mel Gibson, and he decides the only way he can do the right thing for once in her life is to make sure every single bad guy dies. Seems like a sensible suggestion to me. Looks like fun. Blood Simple. Don't actually know a lot about this one, I will be fair. And but it was a lovely looking still, but it looked like a nice package, and it's got the director's cut, interviews, all that sort of thing. Approved by the Coen Brothers Restoration, so lots and lots of double crosses and things I hear, and a bit of action. So yeah, something I think I will enjoy. Blood on Satan's Claw. This is the recent release. Gosh, we had to wait a long time for this one. How many times was it delayed? It was ridiculous. However, this is a limited edition, limited to 4,000. Mine is 2885. Not that you really need to know that, but it is. Loads and loads of extras. Lots of good stuff. Absolutely classic British horror movie. Very, very not horrific in the sense that the modern horror movies are, but it has tension throughout. It builds it up very, very nicely. About just to take it from the back, it's a lot easy. Weird skull discovered in a village in the 18th century, and the children turn into a murderous coven and start developing weird skin that needs to be harvested, potentially, I believe, weird skin to create Lucifer himself and have him reborn. Well, that's my understanding of when I watched it. Yeah, actually I watch some of the movies that I buy. I know, it's shocking. Blood-sucking pharaohs from Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, sorry, like it makes a difference. I'm not going to say this one is a classic horror movie. And it probably isn't something that I normally pick up, but I honestly could not resist that title. And if I'm going to watch a couple of silly type slasher movies and see what I'm missing, see whether I do actually like them as I've got older, changing habits and perspectives, I thought, well, let's start off with a nice comedic one, even though it's got a lot of blood as well. The Bodyguard. Yep, seen this one. I really enjoyed it at the cinema. Mariah Carey. No, it wasn't Mariah Carey, it was Whitney Houston, you idiot. Whitney Houston, and of course Kevin Costner, as it said on the front. It's easier for you to read than me. And he's there to protect her from a fan who's a little bit more wants to murder her. Well, not a fan who's got obsessed enough to murder her. It was, I suppose, what ended up happening to John Lennon, very sadly. But in this particular case, of course, the bodyguard and the singer, surprisingly, not to the audiences, fall in love, and then it all gets a bit actionary, probably a bit nearer the end. And somebody tell a bodyguard they should have worn a bloody bulletproof vest. Bodyguards and Assassins. I'm not going to go deep into the details on this one. Samurai, martial arts, action flick. epic, fantastic fight sequences. Sounds sort of my sort of thing, and I haven't seen it yet. Here we go. This will take quite a few out in one go. Bond 50. They're all in one big box. 22 films, all the way through from Dr. No to Quantum of Solace. And they've actually left a disc holder for Skyfall in there as well, which is, I think, very good. Excellent idea, and I wish more people, when they do box sets, would at least try to help fans out like that. The whole set is absolutely magnificent. I'm not doing an unboxing for you here, but this, it comes in two separate slip-out packaging booklets. Open up the discs like that. More artwork, more discs. I'm not going to go through each one, I'm just going to give you a quick example. And they're just really sturdy, such high quality, absolutely amazing. The more recent ones from Roger Moore onwards, that's the second one that starts at that point. As you see on the cover, gives you the years between each one. I'll put those away in a minute. Casino Royale. Yes, I know it's in the set. However, even though this is the UK release cut version of the Blu-ray, it has quite a few extras on it that have not been put onto the main disc because it's got extra discs on this set, and I was advised by experts in the field not to get rid of this one. Just watch the film on the main disc, because that's the uncut one, I believe, that was released in that big set, which that's why I had a reason. Before I bought that set, I had the Australian one to avoid the cuts. I don't like cut movies unless it's for a very, very good reason. But anyway, I'm keeping this one just for the extras. Skyfall. Yep, there's space in there to put the Skyfall, but I really like the artwork on this particular steelbook. This one, I don't know, as you can tell by reading that, is not a UK steelbook. In fact, you can pretty much tell by reading the front. I didn't realise it was this obvious there as well. I can't remember which country it's from, to be honest. I made a note of it somewhere. Anyway, another great Bond film. I mean, I'd like to think I don't have to explain what Bond films are all about to anybody who's likely to be watching this video. English Spy. Brilliant. Action. It started off a little bit more gritty, went a little bit more fun in the Roger Moore era, gone back to being gritty again, and Daniel Craig is much more Bourne-like, if you like, Jason Bourne-like, but still with that edge of James Bond. I don't think you can mix up the two characters, though the filming has been changed slightly. Spectre, not my favourite Bond movie, but just look at that gorgeous steelbook. And obviously I wasn't going to not buy it. I was not going to not buy a Bond movie, whatever. So, yep, that's the Bond. Book Club. Bought this for my lovely wife, I think it was last Christmas, and it's about a group of ladies in a book club. Absolute classic cast, I must admit. Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, Mary Steenburgen. I'm sorry if I pronounced that slightly off. It's also got Don Johnson in it, and Richard Dreyfuss, Andy Garcia. So, you know, you can't really argue that the cast went wrong anywhere. The book club is all about these group of ladies who are finding their life getting a bit drab, and one introduces the book 50 Shades of Grey into their book club as an essential reading for the next month, and how it affects their lives after reading it, to some of the club members more than others. Personally, I felt when I watched it, yeah, again, I watched the movie. Personally, I didn't feel it lived up to some of my expectations and was reasonably average. I don't know whether the two writers took it in turn to write scenes or what, but there were some scenes that actually had little laugh out loud almost moments and were very, very cleverly written, and others that were just cringeworthy and just badly written. And I mean, with a cast like, as I just read out, if the script, you know, you can't really blame anybody except the script writer if the jokes fall flat, because that lot would have delivered them properly. Boondock Saints. Took a while for me to get hold of this because I wanted to wait for a little bit of a price drop, but all about a couple of people who accidentally knock off a couple of mafiosi, Russian mafiosi in, is it Boston? Yeah, Boston, in a bad area, and suddenly realise or relieve that's their calling and proceed to go and continue that calling. Lots of action, I hear, and very, very good reviews. Looking forward to watching that one a lot. Book of Eli, Denzel Washington, Gary Oldman. Post-apocalyptic America. I quite like a lot of my little post-apocalyptic, near-future type stuff. And Denzel's pretty much always good value, and Gary Oldman the same. So looking forward to catching up with this one. Bohemian Rhapsody. I know people get transcendent about this. I was very, very loath to see it because of the inaccuracies as far as I was concerned. I don't mind if they wanted to make a drama out of it, but I felt that if they were going to call it a biopic, then they were trying to bend the truth a bit too much, so the band would buy in and say they approved the film, and also that it would get 12 rating and not put off cinema goers. That said, when I watched it, I did actually enjoy it a great deal, and I can't argue. I still have reservations about some of the accuracy. However, enjoyed it. Really good. Story of, obviously, of Queen Freddie Mercury. Yeah, as if I really need to explain that. This one's a little bit quicker to do. Bourne. All 5 films. Great. They're just great. It's action at some of its best. It's got some thinking in it as well. It's got somebody's put some thought into the plotting, and what the books that they're based on are realised well on the big screen, and that's what you can pretty much ask for. And he plays the part so well. Matt Damon, you know, is Jason Bourne. Watch them. Oh, it's from Brazil. Um, Classic movie. It's got, I can't remember his name. Um, I don't know why, because it's Gregory Peck, of course. Laurence Olivier was the one I was trying to remember and amazingly couldn't. When I say amazingly, embarrassingly. Uh, I don't think it would be a huge giveaway to say what's on the back about it being um, a Third Reich modern at the time day plot to uh, breed using artificial methods, or was it what do they describe it as? Cloning methods to uh, create a new Hitler to bring the Third Reich back to life, and the whole plot to inspire or bring it down. Excellent, excellent, top quality movie. Brave. Not seen it. Lovely steelbook. Want to. Pixar. Can't really say much more than that. I'm pretty sure that most of you will have seen it more than I have. So, Young Woman Archer. Oh, and I'm not sure if you can quite see that, but it's quite a nice lenticular cover on that one too. Probably bouncing off my light as well, which is a bit annoying. Brave Archer. That's pure coincidence. They're both archers, beginning with Brave. Again, we're going back to, in this case, traditional Japanese, Chinese, Hong Kong cinema. Big breakaway apparently from the multitude of knockoffs of Bruce Lee after his sad passing, or even during his lifetime, and leading the way towards more modern classics like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon et al. Really looking forward to watching this one. Nice slipping neck too. Brawl in Cell Block 99, not Cell Block H, as I was about to say, and I realised that was going to sound very, very stupid. Vince Vaughn, heard lots and lots of good things. Price crashed amazingly quickly, considering the fact that it was so highly regarded by so many people and so many critics, as well as the critiques from regular watchers. So I picked it up when it hit a low price. Haven't seen it, really don't know what it's going to all be about, but hear nothing but good things about it. Bridge of Spies, Tom Hanks Cold War thriller. I saw the trailer at the movies, but never actually got around to seeing the whole thing. So I now have it on Blu-ray. I will get around to seeing the whole thing. Bridge Too Far, Steelbook. Laurence Olivier, that chap I keep on forgetting. Sean Connery, Anthony Hopkins, Robert Redford. The original Market Garden operation during World War II, which I'd like to think that it's not a spoiler to say it all went horribly wrong. That's why it's called A Bridge Too Far. Acting brilliant, really great movie. I believe this is the one I think it's just the one that one of the actors actually was involved in the original Operation Market Garden, though I might be wrong. I'm mixing up my World War II movies. I'm a big fan of a lot of them. So please correct me if I am in the comments. Thank you very much. Bridget Jones box set. Bridget Jones Diary. Absolutely brilliant representation of the very, very funny book. Written by, oh, I should really know this, shouldn't I? No, can't remember. Do apologise. And my wife particularly appreciated it because she's a big fan of the book. And so, yeah, all three movies, one little box. It's not actually that little because it's got them separate cases. So Kermit's Ghost will have them on separate places on his shelves, but they still be quite close together because they would start with Bridget Jones. Anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to say that Bridget Jones, the original movie, is brilliant and hilarious every single time I watch it. Bridget Jones' Edge of Reason isn't. It just isn't. It was a huge letdown after the first movie. But when she came back, Renée Zellweger came back and did the third movie for Bridget Jones' Baby, they recaptured, in my opinion, 85+% of the magic of the first movie, which is going well after a mess up in movie 2. Very, very funny. Very, very funny indeed. If you're happy to just say, oh yeah, I'm happy to watch a chick flicks and comedy romances, then these are good ones to watch. Buckaroo Banzai Across the Seventh Dimension, yeah. Eighth Dimension. Gosh, he's got another one. Really looking forward to watching this. It just sounds like a whole lot of 80s fun to me, and with a title like that, I can't believe I won't like it. Is it Peter Weller in this one? Yeah, Peter Weller, Robocop fame. Bullet. It's Danny Trejo. He's in vengeance mode. I mean, you know what you're going to get. I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get very, very happy watching it. That's what I'm going to get. Bullet. Steve McQueen. Absolutely brilliant. Classic movie. I know that I might be using that too much, but I'm pretty sure that it's fair to use it for this one. Car chase and action and stuff. And Steve McQueen. It's Bullet. Just watch it. Bumblebee. I do have the other Transformers movies, and I should probably have put this into the T section with the rest of them, but I didn't, because it's, I believe, what they call a soft reboot of the series, and so many people have told me it's a lot better than just about all the others anyway, so really, really looking forward to that. This is the 4K steelbook. I think it's the Zavvi one. Or could it have been I think it might have been the 4K steel that was going to be an HMV exclusive, then they went bust, and then it became an online exclusive. I can't remember, but still, great. The Burbs. Tom Hanks. Lives in suburbia, weird goings on in the neighbourhood, and it's sort of like a mini comedy horror thing. Joe Dante, that sort of thing, that sort of humour. Very, very good. Saw it at the cinema many, many years ago. Haven't seen it since, but really must get around to watching it. Bushwick. Been told good things about it. Actioneer, nice slit. Picked it up quite cheap. What more can I say? What more can I say is neighbourhood under attack by black-clad military soldiers. Boyfriend dies in explosion. Into chaos. Attacked by thugs. Ex-Marine intervenes. Thrown together. Destruction from start to end. All good fun. Byzantium. This was a £1 pickup from Poundland before they went to the £2 Blu-rays. Interesting sounding tale about mother and daughter vampires opening up a hotel, luring people to their doom, I presume. That'll be interesting. Or is it a hotel? Or is it a... Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, thought as much. Yeah, it used to be a hotel. They're planning on reopening it as a brothel. That'll be even more dangerous. Normally at this point I would go on to doing my TV series beginning with B, but I'm going to have to split them out this time. It's a miracle that I've actually managed to push this one in before I go away on holiday, and I hope you forgive me for splitting them out, and I'll put that little separate video next time I have a chance to record. But in the meantime, whether or not it's TV or movies, keep on enjoying watching both of them, and cheers.